Welcome back for another episode of the Ross Bolen Podcast. I am Ross, here with my co-host and former pirate lover turned straight and newly engaged man, Jared Borislow. J-Bone, how are you?
I'm doing well. I was wondering, if you took the first 5 seconds of every episode, would they all be the exact same thing? Welcome back. I needed my Ross first.
2 seconds, probably. The first 2 seconds. It's always pretty similar.
Welcome back to the Ross Bolen Podcast.
I'm betting there are ones where you can tell I'm a little down compared to other ones where I'm a little more energetic or whatever. But for the most part, yeah, I'm welcoming you back. So if it's your first episode, it's unfortunate because my intro doesn't work for you. You should have been here before. I myself, Jared, you didn't ask, doing pretty good the last few days. Or I was. Until I heard Kid Rock's new single, which makes The Rock and his rap verse look like Illmatic and Nas. Kid Rock dropped a new song. It's called Don't Tell Me How to Live, with lyrics that, even for a man who became famous for yelling, ba with da ba, da bang, diggy, 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 said the boogie, set up, jump the boogie, are inexplicably absurd. As are the accompanying visuals in the music video. Holy hell. At one point, Kid Rock is launched into space a la Jeff Bezos, except he's not inside of it, mind you, not inside of this rocket, but it's a rocket that's shaped like a middle finger. And Kid Rock is riding it on the outside, which almost leads me to believe that Kid Rock doesn't understand how outer space even works, because once he breaches, Jared, the atmosphere in his middle finger rocket, he's going to suffocate, unless science is a lie, which according to the rest of the song, it very well may be.
So a lot of people are calling this music video Detroit's Dr. Strangelove. It kind of is reminiscent of the Dr. Strangelove scene where the man rides the bomb down to Earth. This is kind of a flipped version of that, where Kid Rocket rides a middle finger up towards, as you said, the atmospheric barrier in space.
People are arguing that, similarly to the way I was inspired to wear these pants by Dr. Evil, that Dr. Evil had Big Boy, his rocket was Big Boy. Kid Rock has his own middle finger.
Called Kid Rock-It. Kid Rocket.
Kid Rocket.
Good name. Now, I know you are, you're excited to dive in even more here into this music video and this
particularly
song.
Into the lyrics, yes.
But I have one thing I need to point out, right? I have no problem with you reviewing it, you making jokes about it, whatever. The only thing I will not allow you to do throughout the course of your review, is tell Kid Rock how to live. Because as this song notes, Kid Rock does not want you to tell him how to live, and he won't even listen to you if you do. So I think it seems like a futile effort of your part if you attempt to.
I will do my best, Jared, throughout the remainder of this discussion to not tell Kid Rock how to live.
Thank you. It's the least you can do.
Look, I saw him perform live in Las Vegas. I documented that experience by doing a podcast almost immediately after when I returned back to Austin, I don't know, a couple years ago.
How was it?
One of the great concerts of my lifetime. It was also one of the most political concerts of my lifetime. And I've seen Kanye live several times.
Wait, is Kid Rock political?
It turns out, yes. He skews slightly right.
more moderate.
He opened his concert in Las Vegas by giving a speech to fake run for Senate or president. I can't remember. I don't think it was president at the time, though, because he didn't want to be president because he was stoked about the current president. Can we get to the lyrics? Some of the other lyrics.
Yeah.
Here we go. Years ago, we all thought it was a joke, see? That every kid got a motherfucking trophy. But yo, homie, here's a situation. A nation of pussies is our next generation.
Facts.
And these minions and their agendas, every opinion has a millennial offended, but this Amendment 1, it rings true. And if you don't dissent, bitch, then see number 2.
Is this how a gun is shot?
That's the Second Amendment, finger pistols a la J. Prince, right at your motherfucking dome, bitch. And those are called bars, Jared. And if you didn't know, that's called hot freestyle action.
I'm not going to lie. When I first heard that, I was like, I think this is actually a fucking fire verse.
It is. That's the thing. I disagree with everything about this, everything he stands for, everything the song actually says, and I'm a man who most recently argued that if you listen to music and not the lyrics in the music, then you're a friggin' idiot. And yet, I will stand here today and tell you this one's going in the rotation.
This is a good song. Like,
it's a bop, dude, inarguably. And then this fucking dude. Okay, here's the thing. Let me continue. Let me get through the planned part of this.
Okay.
Because I gotta finish with the lyrics. Ain't nothing new. Right church, wrong pew. Get a clue or prove your fake news and views can all kick the bottom of my motherfucking shoe. I'm the last of a few still screaming fuck you. I feel like that's not actually true. They're just like every single one of us, I think left, right, and middle are all yelling fuck you.
No, they're not. They're saying let's go Brandon.
A lot of us are yelling suck our dicks, but people are yelling fuck you indeed as well. But this song features Canadian rock group Monster Truck.
It's
not
Dennis
joking.
Anderson and Gravedigger.
Monster Truck as the chorus singer. So he comes in and he's like, don't tell me how to live.
I'm not going to lie, one of the best features I've heard on any song lately. This guy brings it.
This has got to be like he's up for Breakthrough Artist of the Year now at the Grammys. Because I had no clue who Monster Truck was before this song. But I can tell you one of the first things I'm doing when we finish the show today, and it's going to Spotify and working my way through the Monster Truck discography. Because don't tell me how to live is a fucking jam.
Here's the issue: is like people are going to be like, "Oh, you must agree with this song because you like it." It's like
because you're blaring it with the windows down and you're not wearing a shirt while you're driving, and you've got one foot out the window and a literal middle finger pointed at me,
and you're asking people to kick the bottom of your shoe.
But it's like, yo, listen, anybody, music is music, left, right, middle. We can all enjoy a good Kid Rock hit single where he rides a middle finger into outer space and effectively ends cancel culture. I think it's over. We can all go back to being offensive individually because Kid Rock is the Jesus Christ of cancel culture. He sacrificed himself so that we might live by riding his own middle finger into space without a helmet on so that the second he crosses the atmospheric barrier, he suffocates and dies.
Yeah, that's what people forget is like Kid Rock is a martyr, as this music video shows. He died so that cancel culture could also die, and he died on a space middle finger.
People forget that, Jared, and they don't talk about it nearly enough. Rest in peace to the great Kid
What's his
Rock.
name?
The other thing, we're about to get to that. The other thing in the song that he refers to himself as the sharpest tool in the shed, but says he's, quote, never been the smartest, end quote, and then compares himself to Brad Pitt, but says, quote, a little less pretty.
Okay.
He's a little less pretty Brad Pitt, apparently, is how he sees himself, which is just, I just, inaccurate is the adjective I would use to describe that.
Prettier.
Yeah, I've always seen Kid Rock as the best looking man on Earth.
Well, he's not on Earth anymore. He's launched into
He
space.
was on Earth though, Jared, and he was the most classically handsome American. Like when you look up American in the dictionary, Kid Rock's face is right there, just chiseled and mutated, and with a large head of hair behind it.
A lot of people have been calling him Detroit's Fabio for quite a few
His
decades.
whole career, pretty much. Yeah, almost his whole career. Ever since Ba with the Ba came out. I almost said Chumbawamba.
I would love to hear Tub Thumpin' covered by Kid
Rock. Damn.
I get knocked down!
Somebody remix Tub Thumpin' and Ba with the Ba. Please. And thank you. From Syracuse.com, his music video also doesn't pull punches, flashing images of mainstream media logos and shows, including a quick shot of Joy Behar on The View. Rock called the TV host a, quote, bitch, end quote, during a 2018 appearance on Fox and Friends.
Why did he call Joy Behar a bitch?
She's probably been a bitch, but you can't say that. And you just can't say that. And you certainly can't say it on television. It's Fox and Friends, Jared.
Not Fox and Enemies.
How the fuck did Fox and Friends, the friendliest sounding show name on the most evil network possibly to ever exist, go so wrong? So it was the Don's favorite show, which didn't help half the country's view of Fox and Friends. And The Rock showed up and called Joy Behar a bitch. Still talking about it, 3 years later? He's 50 fucking years. That's the thing. He's a 50-year-old adult man.
He doesn't look 50.
No, he looks about 72. Because of the drugs and the alcohol and the general lifestyle.
I would say, to me, if you said, how old is Kid Rock? And I didn't think back to like when he was actually famous, and I just looked at him, I'd be like, yeah, he's probably like 44.
If I was 8 years old and somebody showed me this music video, and the guy going, "Don't tell me how to live." That one, not that one, because I didn't nail that one, but one of the ones has to be one of the things on the soundboard. If I was 8 years old and I watched this, I'd go, with my cognition, I'd go, okay, I want someone to tell me how to live, because I don't want to look like that at 50 years old. So somebody tell me how to live. Tell me what to eat and what not to eat. Tell me what vaccine to get and what not to get, because I don't want to look like whatever that is. And that's if I was 8. I'm 34. So I watch it and I see him flying into space without a helmet on, and it's the same thing I get when I'm on the highway and I look to my right and there's a guy on a motorcycle and he doesn't have a helmet on, and I just go, "Nope, not me, man. Not us, buddy."
But you can't tell them how to live. So that's...
But it's true. I can't actually tell him how to live. So I love this from Yahoo. It says, a White House guest under former President Donald Trump, the Detroit rocker has made headlines for his political views and controversies, including allegations of racism and homophobia in recent years. He's been especially vocal against pandemic mandates, prompting the temporary closure of his Nashville bar and steakhouse last year. And, it seems, the artwork for Don't Tell Me How to Live, which shows the Statue of Liberty, wearing a mask, a face mask. What a powerful statement. Lady Liberty with a face mask.
Damn.
People have compared Kid Rock creatively to Kanye, and I think that's on par. This video reminds me a lot of the one that Kanye did with Kim naked on a motorcycle. I think they're pretty similar. Bound 2.
Did Kid Rock and Kanye ever collab? You'd think they would have at this point.
That's Red Cap.
What does that mean?
I don't know. We invented it, though, so we should get together, huddle up at some point. You, me, Kid Rock, Bruce and Bella, and decide. It's one of the great songs and music videos ever made, is the end of my segment. I love it. It's kind of like a Captain Hook situation, like what would the world be without Captain Hook, without Captain James Hook? I don't know what the world would be like without Kid Rock, but I don't want to know. I don't want to live in that world. I want to be in this timeline where no one, Jared, can tell me how to live. This is like a straight out of South Park song, and he doesn't even know it.
So this makes me think of something. Let's say Kid Rock right now looked at you. If he was going to tell you how to live, what's the first thing he would correct? And I think I know what the answer is.
So Kid Rock's looking at Ross Bolen, and he's saying the first thing he's going to pick about me that he wants to fix and change.
To tell you how to live.
Probably my fingernail. I don't know, though.
That's it. No, that's it.
Because you never know. These rockers, they paint their nails and wear all kinds of jewelry and shit.
So I thought about that because Kid Rock does wear large fur coats, which you would think PETA may have splashed him already.
Yeah, pimps wear large fur coats, though. You know.
Yeah. So
he's the Detroit pimp.
I was thinking he would hit your fingernails, but I also had the thought maybe he has painted his fingernails before as like a sign of.
I'm Googling it and I'm not really seeing any sign that he has. Yeah, he looks like he's got clean nails, Jared. So you may be in the clear here. Mm-hmm. And if he is in fact an anti-fingernail painting male, then yeah, I'm guessing these are the first thing he's coming after. And then after that, probably the shoes. These are fear of gods, and they're pretty ridiculous. But then again, I don't know. Again, it's tough to tell with this guy because he's wearing the pimp coat and he enjoys the hip hop.
Those do. He also wears like the frilly bucket hats as well. Those do look like dive boots, like scuba diving boots.
Normally, I'm dressed in a less Kid Rock friendly fashion. Today, I happen to be a little bit less, some offensive to Kid Rock, and I don't want to tell him how to live. So I tried to come in muted today, a muted version of me, as to not offend the man whose real name, did we ever say it?
No.
Oh, Bob Ritchie.
Bob Ritchie?
Robert Ritchie.
Okay, that's not good.
I did not...
Ross.
I'm sorry. Okay, so I'm sorry. Kid Rock's real name is Bob Ritchie?
Ross, can I drop a bombshell on you right now?
What?
My grandma's name is Roberta Ritchie. My grandma's name is one letter off.
Hold on. Your grandma and Kid Rock have pretty much the same name? Did you know, Jared, that nobody can tell your grandma how to live as a result? Not even you. Call your grandparents, people.
I need to call my grandma and be like, hey, did you know that you and Kid Rock have the same goddamn name?
That's one of those things, when you call your grandparents, it's always like, oh, what do I start this conversation with? Like, because if I say, like, what have you been up to? It's like, they've been sitting there. What the fuck do you think they've been up to? But if your grandma is named after Kid Rock, or Kid Rock is named after your grandma, or somebody, they're sharing a name, Kid Rock and your grandma or grandpa, that's one hell of a starter, conversation starter. Yeah. Hi, Grandma. Did you know that you and Kid Rock share a name? And that no one can tell you how to live.
I mean, my grandma is kind of a badass, though. Her Instagram bio is "Don't fuck with the Falcon." I think I've said this on the show before. So, honestly, "Don't fuck with the Falcon" could easily be the title of Kid Rock's next song. So,
I'm just gonna. Your grandma has Instagram, first of all. Wow. And her bio says, "Don't fuck with the Falcon."
I don't personally fuck with the Falcon because I've been warned. Don't fuck with the Falcon.
I've been living my entire life having no idea how much danger I was in fucking with falcons, and here we are. Your grandma has changed everything about my world just now. Wow. First sponsor of the day, listen up. These are the folks that keep the podcast growing and showing, so when I do sponsor reads, y'all make sure you stick in, don't skip, and listen to what I have to say. In the case of our first sponsor, Felix Gray, they keep your eyes safe from screens with the finest frames my fingers have ever felt. Just phenomenal eyewear, the best in the world, in my opinion. Jared, I like the finer things and what glasses I choose to protect my eyes as I fight children in video games and watch movies every night. Do I wear? Felix Grays.
They're Felix Gray. So I'm currently
Faraday frames, the Nash frames, and the West frames. Love them all. Go ahead, Jared.
If you're watching the video, I'm currently wearing the sunglasses from Felix Gray. Let me put on... I don't actually have my blue light glasses here, but I do have my sleep glasses.
Ooh, yes. They have blue light glasses, the finest blue light glasses in the game. I wear them every night while I play Apex Legends and such on the computer. They've got great sunglasses as well. You can have prescription, non-prescription, doesn't matter.
Oh, sorry. I wore my sleep glasses and I fell asleep.
Oh, wow. Look how effective they were.
Wow, sorry.
Look how effective they were. They're so nice that every time I wear them, especially on social media and stuff, people are like, what brand are your glasses? They're Felix Gray, baby. 5 years ago, they realized our eyes weren't meant to look at screens all day and designed glasses to make daily screen time more comfortable and the workday more productive. I have a pair on my face every day. You should too. Get yourself a pair of glasses made for the 21st century, designed for modern, hardworking eyes, and better than all the other blue light glasses on the market. You have nothing to lose except maybe eye strain. Support the podcast. Go to felixgrayglasses.com/RBP for the best blue light glasses on the market. That's FELIXGRAY glasses.com/RBP. Free shipping, free returns, free exchanges. felixgrayglasses.com/RBP. I've got some insane headlines of the day for you, Bone Man. You ready?
Yo, I'm ready.
2 coming down the pipeline now. First, from CNN. She died from a snake bite, but the real killer was her husband. We are a snake bite podcast now. We recently covered a man being, I believe he was bit on the penis while toileting.
Oh, yeah, he was on a safari. Right, I think they say on safari instead of on a safari.
He was on safari, safarying, and he was toileting on safari when he was bit on the penis. This is different. This is a woman named Uthra whose mother found... Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Uthra found, or her mother found her daughter laying motionless in bed at the family home, her left arm dotted with blood. Her family rushed her to the local Kollam hospital in the southern Indian state of Kerala, but the 25-year-old was already dead. A post-mortem on May 7, 2020 confirmed she'd been bitten hours earlier by a highly venomous Indian spectacled cobra, according to court documents. In India, where snake bites are not uncommon, that could have been the end of it, but her family grew suspicious and filed a complaint with the police after a trial that made national headlines. Uthra's killer was found guilty and sentenced to life in prison for crimes the sentencing judge called diabolic and ghastly. The judge found Uthra's death was caused by the cobra, but the real killer was her husband.
Bum, bum, bum.
And it wasn't the first time he'd used a snake as a weapon.
Really?
In late 2019, Kumar appeared to develop an obsession with snakes. He spent hours on the internet watching YouTube videos, including episodes of Snake Master.
Wait, is he the guy from that Tosh.0 Web Redemption?
Snake Master?
I like snakes. I like snakes.
I don't know, but Snake Master features renowned snake expert Vava Suresh. Snake Master. So Kumar becomes obsessed with snakes. On February 26, Kumar buys a deadly Russell's Viper from snake handler Chava Rukavu Suresh. No relation to Vava Suresh,
The Snake Master.
the Snake Master. But he paid $135 for this snake, prosecutors said. The next day, he left the snake on the staircase of his house and asked Uthra to fetch his phone from the first floor, hoping that it would bite and kill her. Quote, but he failed in the attempt since Uthra saw the snake and raised alarm calls, end quote, according to the judgment. Kumar captured the snake and kept it in a plastic bag. And on the night of March 2nd, he tried again. Kumar mixed sedatives into a sweet bowl of Indian rice pudding before Uthra fell fast asleep. As she slept, Kumar forced the viper to bite her before throwing the serpent out of the house to destroy the evidence. This is one of the worst criminals in the history of crime. Uthra spent 52 days in a hospital recovering from the viper bite, and when she was finally released to her parents' care on April 22nd last year, she was unable to walk. As she lay in bed, her leg bandaged after skin grafts, Kumar decided to strike.
Again, for the
fourth time?
Third time, second successful.
How is this man still being allowed near this woman at this point? So on May 6th, just 15 days after she had left the hospital, he smuggles in another snake that he bought from another snake handler.
No, same
Snake handler, sorry. Shava Rukavu Suresh into her parents' house. This time, it was a cobra.
Oh, no.
Before going to bed, Kumar gave Uthra a glass of juice laced with sedatives, according to the judgment. As she slept, Kumar threw the serpent at her. But the reptile didn't bite. It's not a fucking Pokeball, dude. So he grabbed its head and forced its fangs into her left arm twice. Okay, the dude drugs his wife. She's out. He gets a cobra from Chavarakavu Suresh, the snake handler.
Again.
Not the Snake Master, and no relation to the snake Master.
Yeah, none.
He runs into her room and just throws it at her. Like, get her. And then I'm assuming the snake lands and is like, what the fuck? And like slithers off. And he's like, oh, shoot. So he captures it again. And again, I'm assuming this is a deadly snake. That's why he threw it, right? He's panicking. Throws it. Now he's got to get it again, hold it by the head, go over to her. She's still asleep. Open its mouth. I'm assuming at that point it's got its mouth open on its own because it's in attack mode.
Yeah.
And apply the snake directly to his wife in an effort to get away with the crime when everyone knows full well he has attacked her with a snake before.
Well, nobody knows that it was him, but I'm sure after the... Allegedly, nobody knew it was him.
I mean, just get a divorce. This was all so wildly unnecessary and terribly sad. It's not that hard. Just leave. My wife did it. What? This is not the way, sir. Just exit the marriage. Dude, change anything but thrice attempting to and then succeeding to off your wife with a snake. The whole story is very sad. There's a lot more detail to it. They met on like a dating arranged marriage website situation, and she had a learning disability, and that's like the reason he was like, I don't want this person as my wife, and the whole thing is fucked. And the guy's terrible. Gives a bad name to Kumars everywhere. Anyway, I have another headline for y'all, but first, today's episode is also brought to you by Birddogs. Birddogs, making the most comfortable shorts in the world with the built-in underwear you know and love for living life and making love. It's like, why wear shorts with underwear when you can wear even better shorts with built-in underwear, thus creating less laundry, thus saving the planet, thus making you a hero, while also better looking and more comfortable.
Yeah, so I started taking my non-Birddogs pants, which I call my terrible, stupid pants.
Muggle pants is what big Harry Potter fans call them.
Yeah, and I started sewing the boxers and box briefs I own into them.
It's not the same?
Oh my God.
Not quite?
No, so I actually tried to do it while I was wearing them, and I ended up sewing them directly into my calves and thighs.
Oh, that's logical.
On accident.
Instead of doing that, Jared, you should have gone to birddogs.com and used the code RBP. Birddogs, you silly bastard! But did you know they make pants as well? For these winter months? Pants for work, pants for play, pants for golf. And their new joggers are next level comfortable. Check the new Birddogs joggers out on birddogs.com. Grab yourself a pair.
God. Have you seen my ass in these joggers?
Oh my, this is phenomenal. I absolutely love mine. They make Jared's donk pop hard. I wear mine to sleep a lot. They're super comfortable. Also during the day, which is to say that when I wear them, they're on for a 24-hour period. I wake up, I put on a pair of Birddogs joggers, and then they're not taken off until the next morning, if and when I wear them, because they are incredibly freaking comfortable and good looking. And what's more, for being an RBP listener, when you use the code RBP at checkout on birddogs.com, Birddogs is giving away free Gamebirds this Thanksgiving and Cyber Monday on all multi-pair orders. It's a handheld gaming device that comes loaded with 400 games, the hottest tech item this holiday season, next to the Donda Stim player. This holiday season, Birddogs is giving the gift of self-pleasure, the gift of playing with yourself. It says here, use code RBP. When you check out on birddogs.com, it's time to play with yourself. Get yourself some of the most comfortable shorts or pants or both with built-in underwear or without if you don't want to be a rule breaker like me and Jared. And you'll get that free Gamebird to play with all holiday season when you use the code RBP at checkout. Here's your other headline from the New York Post. Tech billionaire allegedly kept spreadsheet of 5,000 women he had sex with. A spreadsheet. An Excel spreadsheet.
I mean, you're not going to be a tech billionaire without being good at spreadsheets. That doesn't surprise me.
This is on some serial killer shit. So, okay, here's some story from the New York Post. And this is a really long one. I'm going to have to only pick the parts that I find most necessary. And again, if you want to read the whole thing, go to the New York Post. Tech billionaire allegedly kept spreadsheet of 5,000 women he had sex with. So, Whitefish, Montana is known for fly fishing and hiking trails studded with yellow aspen trees. But after Silicon Valley billionaire Michael Goguen, there it is, took up residence in the Rocky Mountain town several years ago, he transformed it into his private fiefdom?
Fiefdom, yeah. I believe that's a...
Fuck you, New York Post. What is this, SAT word day?
I think it's like a feudal thing.
Okay. A dark banana republic where he allegedly controls local law enforcement and a harem of young women.
Interesting.
The bombshell allegations, which also include claims of Goguen ordering his security chief to kill detractors, are contained in a lengthy civil complaint recently filed in the United States District Court for the District of Montana. The complaint, which seeks more than $800 million in damages, was filed by 4 former employees who set up Goguen's Mentor Group LLC, a Whitefish-based security contractor that had clients around the world. According to the court pages, Goguen, 57, employs hundreds of residents in companies he controls and owns a series of luxury, quote, safe houses, end quote, where he takes dozens of women, young women, for sex. He has a spreadsheet documenting his sexual encounters with 5,000 women and even outfitted a local bar he owns with a basement, quote, boom boom room, which features a stripper pole. The underground enclave is allegedly used to, quote, maintain women for the purpose of committing illicit sexual activity, end quote. Well, they need to be maintained for the purpose of, I don't see what's wrong with that.
So
Boom Boom Room was the name of a room in a bar I used to frequent in Houston.
So what exactly is they're saying
different situation.
Number one, he had a spreadsheet with 5,000 women he had sex with, but was he like trafficking some of these women?
I'm not, the extent of his crimes are unclear to me. This article is 50,000 words long. But I'm sure there's a female version of this that I'm not fully aware of. But when young men start engaging in sexual behavior, they document this behavior with their friends, telling each other how many people they've had sex with, blah, blah, blah. I guess this is the most like toxic adult version of that if you never stopped.
How many people are shared on this Excel spreadsheet? That's what I want to know.
5,000. Yeah, exactly. Was it like him and his whole squad and like they each had a tab?
It's him and it's like, who is Brett Kavanaugh's friend? Squee. It's him, Squee's on there. And they talk about it whether
the guy from A Promising Young Woman.
Yeah, well, they're drinking beer. I still like beer. I like beer. I still drink beer. I'm going to continue drinking beer.
What? Are you what?
Remember the Brett Kavanaugh hearing? Kept talking about how much you like beer?
Guy's a weirdo, man. One guy's tab just has way less names on it, and they all make fun of him constantly. Is this like billionaire fantasy football? You just got your roster saved on a fucking Excel spreadsheet that's shared with all your sexy friends.
Well, we all know how Bill Gates...
Sex-addicted billionaire friends.
Bill Gates keeps track of it because he sends an email.
Not sexy friends.
To every woman that he wants to have sex with. With a paper trail. Remember? Bill Gates?
Yeah, it turns out the billionaires just generally have spent too much time accumulating wealth to understand how the opposite sex works.
Mm-hmm.
Or probably any sex, for that matter.
Money, a lot of people don't know this or understand this.
Mm-hmm.
When you have a lot of it, you turn into a fucking weirdo.
Yes, it's not untrue because you lose touch with the like everyday life, normal people's world because you can afford to build a different one, which in all fairness makes sense.
When you can afford anything you want, you start to believe that you can do anything you want, and then that's
I can do anything.
But the main thing is, regardless of how much money you have, and like I sound here like I'm criticizing you, I'm not telling you how to live because I would never tell anybody how to live.
Well, you better not.
I've heard the song.
Kid Rock and Monster Truck already told us, don't tell me how to live.
We need to get
don't.
Scott Stapp to be, you know how like...
How is he not in that song already?
I don't know.
The remix, Jared, it's coming.
Because you know how like Old Town Road, after it got big, they brought in Billy Ray Cyrus. Now they need to bring in Scott Stapp for Don't Tell Me How to Live, the remix.
It's time. And we might as well get Fred Durst and throw him in.
Oh my God, yes.
I saw a thread on Reddit that people think this is the rebirth of nu metal. I don't think it is. We all watched Woodstock 99. Think we had enough of that, you know? Just that was a good dose. Yeah.
I don't think nu metal...
5,000 women, though.
That's a lot.
Look, people like this guy, Wilt Chamberlain, that's sexual addiction is the only explanation for your number climbing above even 100, really. I mean, there's something going on. If you're breaking 100, you're getting into a space where it's like, God damn, you're putting in work. Unless you just like never get married and you're 50-something. But if you're like 20-something, 30-something, and you've broken 100, you are doing work. You are out there getting it sexy fuck time. Breaking 1,000 is some borderline like, it's like if you weren't doing that, you'd be a serial killer. But then going to 5K and having an Excel spreadsheet, it must have been like the only thing he ever did with his time. Like that's the thing about these guys that I don't understand. Like, because, you know, I remember what it was like being single. Getting laid is fairly difficult. It takes a lot of time and energy and effort.
That's one woman, on average, one woman a day for 13 and a half years.
That is so many. That is so many women.
Yeah.
5,000 on a spreadsheet. And here's the thing about the Excel spreadsheet. It can't, like, you know when your boy tells you, dude, you're not even going to believe this, but you're like in like your freshman year of high school and one of your boys tries to tell you, like, I've had sex with 6 girls already. And you're like, what? No, you haven't. You're like, that's total bullshit. This guy is the living, breathing opposite of that guy. Because the spreadsheet is like realistically not shared with his boys. It's for him. And there's no reason to lie because there's no reason to do any of this in the first place because he's lost his mind. The pussy has been put on not just a pedestal for him, on an Excel spreadsheet.
It's been put on a Google Drive. What I don't understand is I realistically do not think that if in any way like money has changed hands and he's I didn't read the article either, but if you're paying for sex, I don't think you can count it in your number. Right?
No. If you're paying for it, that does not go into your count, obviously.
Yeah.
That does not go into your count.
It's like if I was playing ping pong, Ross and I used to keep track of our ping pong score. If I paid you to throw 500 games, I can't put that I had 500 wins.
And then go tell everybody.
Yeah.
I'm the best ping pong player ever. I beat this guy 500 times. He paid me to lose.
So,
yeah, it's a bizarre situation.
What do you think this 5,000 comes down to if you take that out of it?
I don't know. Romney had binders full of women.
He did. He admitted as much.
But not 5,000 women.
We don't know. I've never seen Mitt Romney's binders.
How many women were in those binders, Mr. Romney?
We need a Senate hearing where people ask him, Mitt.
If they ever let us get famous enough to where we have access to things like interviewing ex-presidents, like that's the kind of question I would throw at the Rom, is what I call him.
He's not a president, though. But
well, he ran. Repeated. He ran enough to where he might as well have been one. You know how every once in a while you read one of those presidents from way back in the day? What's your favorite example that everybody forgets about? Isn't there a Geoff in there or something?
No, well, there's
Cleveland. There's Grover Cleveland.
Warren G. Harding, Millard Fillmore.
Yeah, Romney's more president than a lot of those guys were. And he was never even actually president. But if they let us interview people like that at some point, like I was too scared to throw any hardcore funny questions at Jorgensen because I was alone. But Romney, if you ever sit down in this room, first thing I'm asking you, how many women were in those binders?
You know what Mitt Romney's actual first name is, right?
No, but I hope it's better than Kid Rock's.
It's Mittens.
Mittens. Middle name Kittens. Mitten Kittens Romney. Not many people know that.
I actually think it's Wilfred or Wilbert.
Wilbert?
Wilbert or Wilfred? Which one is it? Look it up.
I don't know. More on names later, though. We can talk about it then.
Moron names?
Moron names? Are you a moron?
It's Willard.
Willard. Oh, that is next level Mormon right there.
Willard Mitt. His middle name is actually Mitt. What is that even short for? It's nothing. It's just Mitt.
I know this because our former company, way back in the day, sold T-shirts that said, Mitt's the tits.
Mitt's the tits. How many of those did you guys sell?
I was one of the red flags of that organization. Not Mitt's organization, ours.
Famous Willards. I can only think of Willard Romney and Willard Scott.
Is Willard diabetes guy? Is that not Willard Free?
What's Wilford Brimley?
Wilford Brimley. That's different.
Wilford.
Are those two different things?
Wilford Brimley is the mustache guy who says, "Do you have diabetes?"
Diabetes is the way he it's one of those things where people pronounce the same word completely differently, and one of them is hysterical if it's not the one you use.
Diabetes.
And people say it that way have to think people who say diabetes is hysterical. Did you just say beaties? If they're beatus people.
What are you?
I'm a diabetes person.
You don't like diabetes?
Diabetes makes it sound like, you're from a hilly area with no education. No education?
But would you ever tell somebody who said it diabetes they're saying it the wrong way? Because that would...
Fuck no.
That would border on telling them how to live.
Shit no. That's a Larry David move. The kind of person who does something like that's looking for conflict. I'm trying to stay conflict-free over here. Conflict-free diamonds in my grill. Ja feel? This episode of RBP is also brought to you by Cuts Clothing, as seen on the world's elite athletes like Patrick Mahomes, Damian Lillard, Tim Tebow, and Bryce Harper, just to name a few. The sport of business means demanding excellence from your craft and your wardrobe. Your fits need to be versatile, blending timeless style and comfort so that you look as good as you feel. For that, there's our sponsor, Cuts Clothing. They make the best t-shirts in the game. I've got one on right now. Look at me. Look at my Cuts t-shirt on my body. That's a Cuts right there. It's amazing. Whether you're hustling for promotion, working on your golf swing, or just chilling with friends, Cuts Clothing keeps you feeling good and looking sharp. Built for performance in the boardroom, the bar, or the gym, Cuts Clothing keeps you sharp wherever the game takes you. GQ magazine calls it the only shirt worth wearing. It is the perfect t-shirt accomplished, in my opinion. And they have a great deal for our listeners. You go to cutsclothing.com/RBP. You get 15% off your first order. And they now have incredible outerwear, Jared.
Outerwear?
As well. Jackets, half zippers, incredible stuff.
Half zipper?
Half zippers, incredible outerwear. I'm a huge fan of the new bomber jackets. The power vest is there for those of you who desire power.
I have the power!
The Sherpa full zip is quite baller. We have reached the point where you could literally wear cuts and only cuts for every layer of your outfit, pants, shirt, jacket, or vest, and legitimately you would still look good. Cuts, it's not just a lifestyle. It's not just clothing. It's work leisure apparel for the sport of business. 15% off your first order at cutsclothing.com/RBP. That's cutsclothing.com/RBP for 15% off your first order.
Grab your light. This is Stop the Wikipedia when you're high.
Stop the Wikipedia when you're high.
Why the sitar?
Sitar.
Yeah, that's the instrument. Why?
Because it makes you feel like smoke is like floating up around you. How dare you question his musical genius?
I'm just wondering why.
Wow. Today's Stuff to Wikipedia when you're high is Archie Karas. K-A-R-A-S. I don't know how to say that. And I really, really don't know how to say his full name, which is...
Can I try it?
Yep, go for it.
Anargyros Nicholas Karaburniotis.
Damn, you're good.
It's my attempt.
That was really impressive. I don't know how to put it, Jared. I'm just never going to be as good as you are at reading names. I
do have a Spanish degree. A lot of people forget that. It's not an associate's.
This is
it is
Greek.
A bachelor's. Yeah, but it's a language degree. I have a degree in language. A language. It's not Greek.
Languages. You're an expert in languages, you say.
I am a bachelor of language.
Language.
One language, but
language.
Language.
Yeah.
And journalism.
So this guy's commonly known as Archie Karas, a Greek-American gambler, high roller, poker player, and pool shark famous for the largest and longest documented winning streak in casino gambling history, simply known as The Run. He drove to Las Vegas with $50 in December of 1992, and then turned a $10,000 loan into more than $40 million by the beginning of 1995. That's a 3-year stretch. $50 1992, $40 million 1995, only to lose it all later that year in 1995. Karas claims himself to have gambled with more money in casinos than anyone else in history and has often been compared to Nick the Greek, another high-stakes gambler of Greek origin. He worked at a Los Angeles restaurant, which was next to a bowling alley and a pool hall. Some degenerate shit. There, he honed his pool skills and eventually made more money playing pool than he did as a waiter. When his victims from the pool hall thinned out, he went to Los Angeles card rooms to play poker. He claims to have gone from broke to millionaire and back several times. Later, he became an astute poker player, building his bankroll to over $2 million. Professional poker players such as Chip Reese and Doyle Brunson, legendary Doyle Brunson, had played and considered Karas a weaker poker player, often giving Karas handicaps to play. In December 92, that's just kind of an unnecessarily rude detail for Wikipedia to include.
Why they add that in?
In December of 92, Karas had lost all but $50 playing high-stakes poker. So he's down to $50. Instead of reevaluating his situation and slowing down, he decides to go to Vegas in search of bigger games. The next 3 years go down as the greatest run in casino gambling history.
See, this reminds me of the story of Dan Bilzerian, which nobody actually has really ever confirmed if it's true or not, and he has an autobiography that maybe talks about it, but I'm absolutely not going to read it. The whole rumor with him is that he made all of his dad is rich from some reason.
Yeah.
And so he had all these connections to hang out with all these really rich, like oligarchs.
Poker playing guys and stuff.
Oligarchs and like really, really rich people.
I mean, Toby Maguire was one of the people he's told stories about sitting down with him playing poker. I'm dead serious.
Oh.
Toby Maguire is one of the more infamous, like, shark poker players in Hollywood.
Did not know that.
There's a big group of really, really, really famous A-listers, and that's who Bilzerian was playing poker with, and all those A-listers, like... Dude, Toby Maguire is in Leonardo DiCaprio's circle. So that's the most famous circle of people in the world with the most access in the world. So they'd end up sitting with like Saudi princes and, like you said, oligarchs and shit like that.
And the oligarchs and all these rich people, they're only there to be seen in this crowd and to be, oh, look at me, I'm playing poker and risking my money with all of these people.
Because at that point, they're all so wealthy. Most of those guys are all so wealthy that it's like, what do you really,
Yeah. So I heard that Dan Bilzerian was just like good enough at poker to be better than these oligarchs who don't know what they're doing, and that's how he just made millions, just taking their money. Don't know that's true.
Made more millions. I think he had inherited, if I remember, like 50 million from his dad or something like that. And then but there was all these crazy stories at the beginning of his come up, Dan Bilzerian, one of the great douchebags in history. And and he was engineered in part by a guy we know who's like a genius social media type in Los Angeles now, Greg Baroth. Shouts to Greg, who used to be Dan Bilzerian's like social media manager, literally.
And Vern Troyer.
He managed his social media as well. Rest in peace.
Speaking of Dr. Evil Pants.
Yeah, for sure. But Bilzerian, speaking of having sex with 5,000 women, that guy's been putting in work for several years now, and probably he has an Excel doc with his roster on it. That wouldn't shock me at all. Mm-hmm. The amount of girls he has fucked that have OnlyFans accounts has to be the standing world record. Dan Bilzerian.
Yes. I would agree. I would
has to be.
Exactly agree with that.
But, okay, so to get back to this guy's streak, Kara's odds-defying 2.5-year streak came to an end in 1995 when he lost most of his money in a period of just 3 weeks. He lost, take notes, $11 million playing dice, then lost the $2 million he won from Chip Reese back to him. Following those losses, he switches to Baccarat and loses another $17 million, so $30 million gone so far. He's got $12 million left and needs a break from gambling, so he returns to Greece. He comes back to Las Vegas, goes to the Horseshoe, shooting dice and playing Baccarat at $300,000 per bet. And in less than a month, lost all but his last million. With his final million, he goes to the Bicycle Club and plays Johnny Chan in a $1 million freeze-out match of poker. This time, Chan was backed by Lyle Berman, and they took turns playing Karis. He preferred playing both of them instead of just Chan, as he felt Chan was the tougher opponent. Karis won and doubled his money, only to lose it all at dice and Baccarat, betting at the highest limits in just a few days. This guy's like John Daly if there was no golf. Like, he was just doing the craziest gambler shit. How is this not a movie that I'm getting to watch right now?
Sounds depressing.
Yeah, but so is, like, I mean...
The casino lobby is probably paying for this not to be a movie.
Like, Goodfellas doesn't go well. Spoiler alert.
I actually haven't seen it, so don't ruin it for me.
Yeah.
Is that the one with Joe Pesci?
He is in that, yes.
What am I funny? What am I funny? What do I look like to you?
Like a clown?
Do I look like a clown?
I'm funny to you? Funny how? Funny like a clown? Yeah, that's the movie. But what a fucking nut, dude. I don't know how these dudes that it's like, when you watch the documentary 100-Foot Wave, or you watch a Free Solo, and you're like, why?
Is Free Solo the documentary about freeing Han Solo from the carbonite?
Exactly. And it's like, how do these people get so driven to go do this one thing? And it's the rush that they get from it, and that need to feel that rush and chase that and live that high, and they're just built differently. Those are the types of people that when you say, like, they're built different, like, they are built different. Those high-stakes people where, like, their everyday activity is a thing that is life and death, that most of us would not even be close to being able to handle once, much less every day. And that's, like, the gambling version. This is Karis, this dude. Like, he's not rock climbing without a harness, or trying to surf a 100-foot wave. He's throwing down millions and millions of dollars in Baccarat and dice.
Yep.
Literally rolling dice. Not even a metaphor, literally.
Roll the dice.
Wow.
Roll the bones.
Something else. So there's your stuff to Wikipedia when you're high, and I'll now attempt his name. Anagairos Nicholas Karabanoiotis. There we go.
That's pretty close.
Archie Karis.
By the way,
Archie Karis.
I do have a impromptu segment. Well, I have music for it. It's called
Back to You, Jared.
Back to me. Back to you, Jared.
Back to You, Jared is the name of the segment.
On this,
you still don't have to say it after the board says it. You could have just hit it and talked. Back to you, Jared. What? Back to you, Jared.
Back to me. Okay. So you mentioned some documentaries. 100-Foot Wave. You mentioned Free Solo, the one about freeing Han Solo from the carbonite.
You're a big documentary guy.
Well, everybody knows about me. I prefer a nice documentary. TV and film are fine, right?
Oh, sure, they're fine.
They're fine, but they're an art. Documentary is life, and that's why I prefer a nice documentary. And this episode of Back to You, Jared, I'll be doing a documentary recommendation.
Wow. Okay, hit us with it. I mean, I love a good documentary, but I feel it really has to be hot. You know? So here we go. What's the new hot doc that we're going to dock with?
Well, Ross, today you and I are docking. That's actually the new name of the segment. It's not called
Back to You, Jared.
It's called Docking with Jared.
Yes, I fucking love it. I love that, dude. That's an incredible recurring segment that is now a part of the show. Docking with Jared.
On Docking with Jared, here's a recommendation. If you have an HBO Max subscription, good for you, because if you don't, you're a broke bitch and you cannot watch Dear Rider.
You're poor. I'm just kidding. That doesn't mean you're poor at all. Deer Rider? You mean Deer Hunter?
No, I don't mean Deer Hunter. I don't mean Big Buck Hunter. I mean Dear Rider. It is a documentary about the life of Jake Burton Carpenter.
Now, are we saying there's a guy named Ryder, R-Y-D-E-R?
No.
Or is it D-E-A-R like, or is it D-E-E-R? Is he riding deer?
D-E-A-R space R-I-D-E-R comma.
Okay, so I was thinking it was D-E-E-R R-I-D-E-R. like this is the one dude who rides deer, because frankly, I've never seen a deer be ridden by anyone, not even Santa Claus. He has the reindeer pull the sleigh, Jared.
True. Has anybody ever ridden a deer?
Peter's upset. Oh, for sure. Drunk hillbillies all the time. Constantly. For sure.
Okay, so Dear Rider, D-E-A-R space R-I-D-E-R comma, is a documentary about the life of Jake Burton Carpenter, who is essentially the father of snowboarding. You might know Burton as a very famous snowboarding brand. Jake Burton Carpenter, he is the Burton of that fame.
Wow.
It's all about how, so he didn't invent the snowboard, like the idea of a board on snow instead of skis.
Right.
But he popularized it, made it a sport, made it everything. He's the pioneer of snowboarding. If you've ever been snowboarding, I'm a skier personally, but I can appreciate snowboarding culture. As any skier will tell you, we are the cucks of the mountain, the skiers. Snowboarders.
According to snowboarders, but according to skiers, snowboarders are trash.
No, but I think I
know this because I'm a middle ground party. And it's funny because like in politics now I'm going to have both sides coming at me. Oh, fuck you, Ross, you skier. Oh, fuck you, Ross. I've never done either, you horse's ass. I am the, unbiased third party here, man, about mountain stuff. And that's what the skiers think of themselves as classy. And the snowboarders as like trashy new age. And the snowboarders think the skiers are just a bunch of cucks.
So you're missing the new wave, which is me. I am part of the new wave of skiers who understand that we're the cucks of the mountain. I think snowboarding is way cooler. However, I'm so deep into skiing, I don't really feel like being a bunny hill guy again to switch to snowboarding, and I already own a pair of skis.
It sounds like you're just Cuctus Jack, and you're applying your Cuctus Jackness to this entire group of people. And I don't know, man. I think
there are thousands of people like me who are skiers,
Cuctuses.
But we're cucks, and we know snowboarding is cooler, but we don't do it.
Cuctuses.
Whole point being, it's if you like the cinematography of a sports documentary like 100-Foot Wave. I mean, this is awesome. It's a lot of documentary footage of him when he was like little, him starting the company, but there's a lot of awesome snowboarding shots. Amazing. And by the way, if you don't know the story of this guy, all I knew, I'm not going to ruin it. But this guy's life story is pretty wild.
So it gets into not just how he invented snowboarding. Yeah. It's the whole story of this guy who invented snowboarding.
It is a documentary.
Or pioneered it, rather.
Yes. About the pioneer of snowboarding, essentially the creator of modern-day snowboarding. And his life story is crazy, as is the story of how snowboarding came to be. It's very inspiring if you're a aspiring entrepreneur, about how much this dude grinded and was told he was a cuck many times by the skiers out there.
You're a cuck. Stop doing that on that board.
Yeah.
But he overcame the adversity of being called Cuctus.
He overcame a lot of adversity.
One of the original Cuctuses, it's been said, in the doc even. I think it's mentioned.
And so it's called Dear Rider because he would always do, every year, he would write this like segment about the state of snowboarding.
Right,
like
where he would address how many deer he had ridden that prior season.
Yes. And they all started Dear Rider, and they were signed Jake.
Did he also invent the newsletter?
No.
Okay.
Who claims to have invented the newsletter?
Archie Karras and Dr. Evil.
Oh.
Dr. Evil's father claimed to have invented the chestnut. Did you know that?
Oh.
Well, that was today's Stuff to Wikipedia When You're High.
And that was Docking with
about
Jared.
Archie Karas, and that was Docking with Jared. And speaking of gambling, today's episode is also brought to you by MyBookie, our sports betting sponsor and casino here at RBP, MyBookie.ag. This year, Turkey Day at MyBookie gives you plenty of reasons to be thankful, starting with a $250 risk-free bet on Thursday afternoon when the Dallas Cowboys host the Las Vegas Raiders in what is sure to be a shit show for the ages. But the spread between the Raiders and Cowboys, bet it at MyBookie, and when you win, you win. And if you don't, MyBookie will refund you up to $250. Simply put, you cannot lose. And that's what we call a no-risk, all-gravy situation, baby. Before you get your wager in, set yourself up for success by doubling your first deposit on MyBookie.ag when you use the promo code RBP to support the podcast. That's promo code RBP to double your initial deposit all the way up to $1,000, so you won't need to break the wishbone to be the one to come home ahead this Thanksgiving. Feast risk-free on Turkey Day with MyBookie.ag, and make sure to stick around for seconds as they gear up for what should be a fun Black Friday with tons of odds boosts that will have your belly and your pockets full. Bet anything, anywhere, anytime with MyBookie.ag. Promo code RBP
The
for
Raiders.
that deposit bonus. Stipulations apply.
I would recommend betting against the Raiders personally. They're currently on a bit of a skid after every single bad thing has happened to them this season, so I don't expect things to go any better for them soon.
Thank you, Jared, for that expert sporting advice. One of our listeners, Cheyenne.
Wait, is her name Ann and she's shy? Cheyenne?
Yeah, Cheyenne direct messaged me this question for us to address.
It's not very shy of her to reach out to you. It's pretty big for her.
Cheyenne only communicates through DM, though. She didn't ask in person because she's Cheyenne. She's my neighbor. If you could sign with any rap label, which one and why? And Jared, for you, I'll make it like any label, period, because you don't know rap labels really. But like, here's the thing. It's weird because we're in this age of music where the SoundCloud rapper has kind of broken the model of the old rap record label, where it was these executives signing these young up-and-coming rappers to several label deals, taking a lot of advantage of them, really, in what has become one of now Drewski's most famous bits, where he has a fake record label where he takes advantage of young artists. It's this whole joke that I don't have time to explain any further, other than to still want to acknowledge the outrageous meteoric rise of Drewski.
I don't know who that is.
He's the goofy fat black dude in Target commercials.
I don't watch.
Is also on stage with Jack Harlow all the time. If you saw him right now and you don't know who he is, I'm gonna question how it is that you're working on the internet all day every day, because that's how fucking famous this dude has gotten at this point. You've never seen this man.
I've never seen him.
I'm showing you a picture of Drewski right now, and you've never seen this man.
I've never seen that guy.
Look me in the eye, Jared. You've never seen this man,
Drewski.
Drewski.
That's Drewski. I get it. I've never seen him show right now.
What the fuck have you been? I don't. He's gonna kill both of us probably as a result of this. I'm just kidding. He seems like a really nice guy. But the point is, record labels historically were a lot different than they are now in 2021. I'm going to choose to look at like the old school record label, like Death Row is probably what I would pick, because I want Suge Knight writing for me. I realize that he would also be taking all of my money and possibly running me over with a car in the process. But I would feel like really tight being on Death Row Records with Snoop Dogg back in the day. That would have been sick. But if it's like more modern, maybe good music, like back during the Good Friday run before My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, that seems like it would have been a good time to be part of that label. Top Dog Entertainment, maybe if it was currently, because Kendrick Lamar, I want to avoid his wrath entirely. That doesn't seem like a place I want to be in the path of his wrath. Or Dreamville Records with J. Cole probably would feel like a good fit for me, personally, if people are asking out there in the industry, if they're talking, if they're buzzing at the water coolers, who's going to sign Ross? I heard Residue's the hottest rapper in Austin, Texas.
Well, no, have they not heard Morning Song at patreon.com/Ross Bolen podcast?
They must not be subscribed to support the show, which is truly sad. Do you have a label you would pick?
Yeah, I would pick Jaguar.
What the fuck is that?
So people who are signed to them include Bon Iver and Volcano Choir.
Hipster Labels, Inc.
Moses Sumney is on there, as is Sharon Van Etten.
Who is Jack fucking Johnson on there, dude?
Jack Johnson is not on there. He's probably on some fucking hippie ass Hawaiian company.
Oh, Bruce is doing is he gonna puke? We might have a puker here. Oh, nope, fake. False alarm.
Oh.
Just a hairball. Bruce is good. Everybody can relax. Cheyenne is one hell of a name.
It's also the capital of Wyoming.
Like, it's right there on the border of almost being a bad name, like auto stripper or habitual drug user name, but it's not quite there, Cheyenne, unlike Crystal. Imagine naming your daughter Crystal. Like, no offense to the Crystals listening, but like, dude, that's a permanent problem you've intentionally handed to her.
You have to try meth at least once.
You have to do crystal meth or just be an absolute freaking ridiculous, like the most strippery stripper of all time.
We're talking like
who leans into it like the hardest.
Yeah, like doing like Tony Hawk 900s around the pole and shit.
Yeah, like the goat. And she's the one that you see out at Walmart, but she's still wearing the clear platform heels because she doesn't give a fuck because she's goated on the pole.
And they have
that's
goldfish.
Crystal.
The goldfish are living inside the heels.
Yep, that's Crystal. And she keeps the fish fed because she had a good mom. But they fucked up when they named her Crystal because it doomed her to this life of dancing and fish feeding in her shoes.
Although, I know many strippers make significantly more money and have a much better life than I do.
Oh, for sure.
So shouts to
I'm
them.
not hating on exotic dancing, as it were.
Just the name Crystal. Naming your daughter Crystal.
Just Crystal. Yeah. Get your money however you need to get your money, folks. It's just, don't hurt me and stay away from mines. That's all I ask.
Stay away from mines? Like in the ground?
Minefields.
Shit.
World War II, they were left around. People don't tell you, but they were planted in different places in case of invasion. I can think of one name I dislike more than Crystal definitively for a female, and it's Amber. Amber. And there's a reason for this, though. In college, an Amber keyed my car. She was drunk, belligerent. She showed up and accused me of things I didn't do. And she had a bowling pin in her hand.
What?
And the reason I remember this so vividly is because I was sleeping on a couch by myself when I awoke to the sound of a bowling pin smashing against the wall directly above my head. And when I awoke and opened my eyes, there was Amber. And she was yelling things and phrases and words that I can't repeat. I could, but I won't. And I guess she was considering killing me. I'm not sure what, people always almost kill me. Like the dude who beat the shit out of me in high school, but instead of punching me in the face when he had to be pinned to the ground, he punched me in the shoulder a bunch of times. Again, thank you, Chris, but I'm not sure what that was about. Amber could have murdered me with this bowling pin, a la There Will Be Blood. I've abandoned my boy! But she didn't. Instead, she went outside and keyed the shit out of my Ford Expedition. And
did she carve her name into the side of your pretty little souped up Ford Expedition?
She if she knew how to spell, she would have.
Why would you? If you have a bowling pin, don't use your keys.
Where did it come from?
Well, I don't know where she got the bowling pin.
It was 5 a.m., Jared. I mean, it's 5 in the morning. She comes stomping in, fully dressed in high heels with a bowling pin and almost murders me in the frat house.
Is she the 5th Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle and her weapon is just a bowling pin? What's going on here? What a weird fucking...
They really ran out of ideas after the fucking... What is the one that Leonardo has? The scythes or whatever? The little mini...
The mini swords.
The forks. Mini, tiny... What the hell are
Whatever those are called, they're in Call of Duty Warzone and Handjob Swag, the guy I play Warzone with, it was this one dude.
Oh, you still play Warzone? Supporting Activision Blizzard?
I do.
Everyone has to shame Jared for this. It's my new favorite bit. Jared just wants to enjoy his favorite video game, but he can't because I'm going to keep calling out the CEO of Activision Blizzard. Have they gotten rid of him yet? Sorry, your friend Handjob Swag uses this particular weapon.
No. It was a one-on-one to win the game, to win the Warzone lobby, and a guy killed him
with
one-on-one with those.
That's so disrespectful,
we got second place.
That's so disrespectful. But after those, they were like, well, what's the next weapon? Let's give Amber a bowling pin. They just didn't know she'd come after me. Also want to say, Ninja Turtles, greatest arcade game of all time.
Oh, yeah.
We talk about Dave & Buster's a lot recently. Man, Ninja Turtles that stands more for me as a Chuck E. Cheese game than a Dave & Buster's game. Shouts to D&B. I've got the ball above my head in support of all the bad press they've gotten recently. Drake can't stop throwing birthday parties at D&B, even though there was a mass casualty event. I don't know if Drake and Trav are not, I don't know if they know this, but they're not allowed to do anything for at least several months. Certainly not Dave & Buster's related activities. The public is on their ass. They're being sued for $400 million. collectively.
Really?
Yeah, it's not good. It's a really bad situation. 10 people died. Wasn't great. Unlike me, who stayed alive when Amber swung that bowling pin at me.
Yeah, it's pretty. I mean,
To connect it back. What?
That's
That's my least favorite female name, Amber.
Why did she have a bowl?
I'll never know, and she'll never know. She's lost to the world. I don't know a person who knows where she is. I know she's out there somewhere, probably doing one of the activities we spoke of earlier. But that'll take us to worst boy names. Number 1, Adolf. Self-explanatory. Number 2, I really couldn't think of that many. Dracula? Is that a boy name? You ever met a dude named Drac?
I've not met. Well, we play Warzone.
Yeah, but that's an E name. Gamer tag.
No, I haven't met a Dracula. I think it's like saying Frankenstein here.
Would you rather be named Dracula or Todd?
I mean Todd. Yeah.
I'd rather be named Dracula than Todd.
What about Keith?
Yeah, that's a really fucking bad one. That's a really bad one. I'm sorry, Keith, but you don't want to wake up a Keith.
This is a Scrubs bit, right?
Is it?
Yeah, that was.
That Keith is one of the names you want to avoid?
Yeah, Elliot's like boyfriend. Remember the really, really nice guy?
No,
Keith,
man, I don't know Scrubs like that.
You don't watch Scrubs?
You don't watch anything. Why the fuck were you watching Scrubs instead of a good documentary, you weirdo?
I like Zach Braff.
Do people change their names, Jared? Like, is that a frequent occurrence? Because like Kanye just went to Ye.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only thing I would change my name to, no offense to my grandpa or his grandpa who share my name, William Ross Bolen, I think I would change it to Rick Ross Bolen. If I was gonna pick, like, because then there's a lot going there. It rhymes with Rick Roll. I like that. Everybody's always been like, Smoke back in the day gave me the nickname Ross, which is a Rick Ross thing, and it would just put me more in harmony and in sync, I feel like, with the universe. So that's the only name I'd change to, but I'm going to stick with what I got.
So you are William Ross Bolen. Your grandpa is William Ross Bolen, and why does it skip a generation?
These people are idiots. I don't know. They didn't know how it worked. They didn't want the numbers, maybe. They didn't want us to look pretentious. I appreciate it. I'm not trying to have a fucking third after my name. No offense, but my skin is white enough as it is. I don't need William Ross Bolen III being my fucking name.
But when you have a kid, you need to change your name to William Ross Bolen Sr.
Regardless of what I call them, I am. Even if they're named, Adolf.
Todd or Adolf or Dracula.
Dracula Bolen. Which is definitely, as I sit here and digest this episode that we've just recorded, it's rising up the list of names for me to consider for son or daughter. Dracula Bolen. I think it's kind of what Dracula is one of those names that kind of like Pat, where it can go either way. It's like, is Pat a guy or a girl? Taylor, it can go either way. Is that a guy or a girl? And then there's Dracula. Is that a guy or a girl? It doesn't matter. She's going to suck your blood.
I've got a question. Do you think Amber picked a bowling pin because Ross Bolen and bowling are so similar and she's making some sort of statement?
Like the irony of it?
A bowling pin?
She was really Taylor Swift-like in her behavior. The opposite in her appearance, so short brunette, not tall blonde. So it just goes to show, no matter your hair color, you can be a delusional, psychopathic person. Jared. We need more blonde representation in my life. It's all gone.
My fiance.
Hell yes. There we go. That's huge for us.
You know what? I'll have her.
I was blonde when I was a little kid, so I identify with these people.
I will have her carve her name into the side of your Tesla and then smack you in the face with a bowling pin.
I'll say, this is wild, but the only blonde I ever dated was the one I ended up marrying. Mistake. I'm a brunette guy. Permanently. Back to my basic roots where I was not wrong. That was a mistake. But in terms of blonde people, I enjoy you folks on the whole. Not my whole, though.
Which one?
Any of them. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. If you're not on patreon.com/Ross Bolen podcast, this will be your only episode this week due to the holiday. Patreon people, you've got another classic coming your way. Enjoy. Patreon.com/Ross Bolen podcast is where you can support our show with a minimum pledge of $5 monthly in exchange for an ad-free episode every week that is exclusively available to those supporting us right there to make sure that Jared and I can stay employed. This is our full-time job. We have a company called Bolen Media that we work on all hours of the day and night, every single day, and we want your support. In exchange for your support, we're willing to make even more content. It's ad-free, and it's exclusive, and it's really, really unhinged for the most part. Some of my favorite episodes ever have been recorded in the last few months on Patreon with Jared, and that is absolutely no cap, J-Bone. So go to Patreon, patreon.com/Ross Bolen Podcast today to support Jared and I, support Bolen Media, support the Ross Bolen Podcast, and get yourself more RBP in exchange. Also, make sure to support our sponsors, of course. It is very important. FelixGrayGlasses.com/RBP, MyBookie.ag. Use the code RBP when you sign up. Birddogs.com, code RBP when you check out. Cutsclothing.com/RBP. Go.
If you want to find those in an easy way.
Wow. Where could you go for that, Jared? I want to see all the sponsors in one place. How can I find them?
So we should have been saying this the whole time. I should make you add this into the rundown.
This is me adding it to the rundown.
The link for every ad we ever do is in the description of each episode. So right now...
Oh, I was going to say bolenmedia.com, which is a way easier way for you to get to all of our sponsors.
Well,
I did even better than you.
It's actually less. No, if they're already in the podcast tab, it actually is less clicks to just look in the description of the episode. But it's...
Well, also, yes, we do put all of our sponsors for each individual episode in the episode description. Go right there, click, browse. Even that, if we have a specific URL like we do for FelixGrayGlasses.com/RBP, is extremely helpful to our business. But of course, if you find a product you love, purchase it, because we try to bring y'all sponsors that we really do use and enjoy ourselves. And as for Felix Gray and all of our sponsors today, MyBookie, Birddogs, Cuts, we really do use and love all of them. So
I'm imagining,
get in there.
I'm picturing right now, I'm closing my eyes and picturing somebody right now listening to this episode and then wearing Felix Gray Glasses, Birddogs joggers, a Cuts t-shirt, and who's the other one?
Drinking a liquid IV out of a nice tall glass while they're placing their bet on MyBookie.ag using the code RBP.
Yes. That right there means you're a true Bolen Media fan.
Wow. And they've just finished meditating.
And by the way, if you're a fan of Formula One, the greatest motorsport in the world, you should check out Formula Bone, my Formula One brand. It's very fun. It's blowing up on the TikToks and the YouTube. It's comedy breakdowns. Let's say you just like Drive to Survive and you're like just kind of starting to watch the races, but you're a little intimidated. I break it down very easy to follow, easy to understand, catered to beginners, but also entertaining for experts. Formula Bone.
Formula Bone, wherever podcasts are found, like the Ross Bolen Podcast and our TV and film podcast, oysters, clams, and cockles as well. Have a great holiday. We love y'all. We appreciate you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for listening. Extra special thanks to those of you on patreon.com/Ross Bolen Podcast who have one more coming this week. Peace.